Hello and welcome to another edition of Jamaica Magazine. I am your host, Audrey Williams, and today we've prepared a show just for you. First, we'll examine how having a growth mindset is important for expanding your business. And then we'll look at how one individual created a business simply by cultivating a curious mind. These two components are vital for propelling any business and society forward. And remember, innovation is the lifeblood of progress. So, as you ponder on that, stay with us. We will be back after the news.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Friday, June 28, 2024. Jamaica has been removed from the grey list of countries that are assessed as having strategic deficiencies in their anti-money laundering, countering the financing of terrorism regimes. The Financial Action Task Force, FATF, announced the decision in a statement released on the conclusion of its plenary in Singapore earlier today. It praises Jamaica for having strengthened the effectiveness of its anti-money laundering regime to address the strategic deficiencies that the task force identified in February 2020 when Jamaica was placed on the grey list. As such, Jamaica is no longer subject to the organization's increased monitoring process. Transacting with FATF grey-listed countries is more expensive, as it signals to international financial and other institutions to take special care when transacting with entities and individuals from these countries. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clarke says implementing the 13-point action plan agreed to after Jamaica was placed on the grey list has not been an easy process. In a statement from the ministry, he stresses that it has required painstakingly detailed and comprehensive work across the GOJ, mostly during the very demanding and difficult time of the COVID-19 pandemic and its aftermath. The minister, who is in Singapore for the Financial Action Task Force meetings, has pledged government's unwavering commitment to ensuring that Jamaica builds on this achievement. He adds that the administration will ensure that the country remains up to date with the latest global standards for addressing money laundering, the financing of terrorism, and proliferation financing. Jamaica is to assume the chairmanship of the Caribbean Financial Action Task Force in December 2024, when the island hosts the organization's 59th plenary session. The government's Community Action for Rewarding Engagement CARE initiative to benefit young people will begin in September. Minister with responsibility for information, Senator Dana Morris-Dixon, says the program has been approved by Cabinet and preliminary work will be done over the summer. She was speaking at Wednesday's post-Cabinet press briefing.
Over 1,800 of our young people who are not in school, not in any training, that are not employed, will be able to benefit from this program. They will receive a $15,000 transport grant each month, and each week they will get a $13,000 stipend, which will allow them to do their training and also to be able to earn some money while they are doing the training.
Individuals will be drawn from the 63 constituencies, and each Member of Parliament will identify 30 persons using the selection parameters set by the program. CARE is being administered by the Heart NSTA Trust. It was first announced by Prime Minister Andrew Holness in his budget presentation in March. He revealed then that the aim was to upskill young persons and enable productivity and employability.
If our economy is to grow, we need every able-bodied man and woman who is able and capable of working to join the labor force. The program may not necessarily have to cater to intensive training, but more work readiness skills. And if that is the case, this will also be done quite easily. So this will do job placement, mentorship, and career guidance where necessary.
An agreement should soon be inked to help facilitate work towards instituting a paperless court system across the country. Minister of Justice Delroy Chuck gave an update during the recent Chief Justices and Heads of Judiciary's Caribbean Conference held at the AC Marriott Hotel in Kingston.
We're about to enter into a bilateral agreement with the government of Rwanda, partnering with the company Synergy International Systems to introduce technology for our court system to become paperless, thereby catapulting the operations of the court to world standards.
The minister says the multi-million-dollar project will begin this fiscal year.
We expect that this will cost somewhere in the region of $5 million United States dollars, or the equivalent of 780 million Jamaican dollars, for software and training over the next 2 years. Additional funds will be spent for the acquisition of appropriate hardware.
Meanwhile, Jamaica's justice system is operating more efficiently than at any other time in the nation's history. That's according to the Portfolio Minister, Delroy Chuck. He was addressing a recent social justice tour town hall held at the St. Matthew's Anglican Church in Santa Cruz. Minister Chuck highlights that the government has made concerted efforts to reduce case backlogs across the island's courts, with St. Elizabeth leading the way in clearing outstanding matters.
St. Elizabeth is doing a fantastic job in reducing the backlog. St. Elizabeth is actually #1 in terms of the reduction of backlog cases. The parish courts are doing a fantastic job to ensure that people have their dispute resolved speedily. And that is how it should be. Before long, we want most of the cases to be resolved within 9 months, so people know when you go to court, you better be ready.
The recent signing of a framework for cooperation between the Jamaican and United Kingdom governments could see the long-talked-about redevelopment of the National Stadium progress to the implementation stage. Sport Minister Olivia Grange says the National Stadium is listed as one of the priority projects to be addressed under the framework. Following its signing, a team of architects and project managers from the UK held discussions with the Sport Ministry and subsequently submitted a proposal for renovation and redevelopment of facilities at Independence Park, particularly the National Stadium.
The document, Mr. Speaker, in essence, proposes to not only address the shortcomings of the existing stadium, but also to identify through qualitative and quantitative assessment the full potential of this iconic stadium through its enhancement as a major tournament venue, training center, and visitor attraction to promote Jamaica and Jamaican sporting talent.
She says the ministry has accepted the proposal and relayed that to the Ministry of Finance, which is to finalize the funding agreement and release funds in short order. That will allow for the start of Phase 1 of the development, which is the Stadium Assessment Feasibility Study. Minister Grange says groundbreaking for the redevelopment of the stadium is projected to take place in August 2025. In the meantime, special funding of $75 million is being requested from the Ministry of Finance to address urgent lighting infrastructure at the stadium.
This remedial work must be completed by September of this year for the stadium to meet the FIFA requirements for international matches that are scheduled to be played at the office in the 2nd and 3rd week of September.
Minister Grange provided the update on Tuesday during her sectoral debate presentation in Parliament. And finally, more than 45 students from the corporate area will benefit from the Creative Language-Based Learning CLBL Foundation Summer Camp this year. It's thanks to a generous donation of $4.5 million raised during the EU 5K 10K run walk staged in March. The proceeds from the event will fund CLBL summer camps at the St. Andrew, Edward Seaga, and Holy Family primary schools. These are primarily aimed at improving the students' literacy and numeracy skills. Minister of Education and Youth Favour Williams has welcomed the initiative as a valuable addition to her ministry's efforts to address weaknesses in literacy.
Educators all over the world are being constantly challenged to refine existing methodologies or develop new ones to meet the many needs of their student populations, and this effort will help in that regard.
She was speaking at a recent ceremony to officially hand over the funds. Chairman of the CLBL Foundation, Joseph Matalon, explains that the learning sessions are designed to give students a head start for the new school year.
The participating teachers will actually nominate participating students from their September 24 classes. These students will first go through an assessment process, identifying their strengths and weaknesses, followed by 50 hours of instruction, providing the opportunity to close any learning gaps and certainly increase their learning level by at least 1 grade during the summer.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for staying with us. Goat rearing is an age-old agricultural practice that has evolved into a successful and sustainable business for Jamaican farmers. Goats are extremely versatile animals, and so is their meat. Our next feature will demonstrate how having an innovative growth mindset can help you to stand out in a competitive market.
How did I get here? The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining has initiated a transformative step to bolster the small ruminant sector on the island. The call is for local farmers to dive into goat rearing with renewed enthusiasm. This encouragement comes with a significant financial incentive: the removal of General Consumption Tax, GCT, and a duty cost for those importing goats to enhance their breeding stock.
Thanks for stopping by again, Kadia.
What is certain is that one of our goat farmers has already answered the call, and we set out to discover what sparked his interest and how his goat rearing business is progressing.
We actually started goat farming in 2019, so this is our 5th year that we've been in the business, and we got our first set of goats from Unity Boar Goat Farm in Mandeville. We started with a full-blood boar ram, and then from there we started to like the business because it's kind of compound interest. You know, one mother gave 2 kids and it grows from there. All right, well, in the mornings we come in, first thing you do, you go through to the pens and you observe. So this is the maternity ward where we have the mothers with young kids on them. So you want to go through in the day and make sure nobody got squashed, there's no illness, there's no lameness with the legs or anything like that. And then we take the kids from the mothers and put them in a creeper feed, where we introduce them to their own feed and water. And this helps to get the ruminants started, where they pick on hay, so that when it's time to wean them off, they are independent of the parents.
I sure enjoy eating curried goat, but touching live ones takes some getting used to.
Then we get our grains from Hypro, and we go through and feed the grains to the different mothers. So each mother gets about 2 pounds of grains each day to sustain as a supplement to the grass and the water that they get. And from there now we move on to the other goats that release in pasture. Being in the business for 4 years and observing my other colleagues in the business, I said to myself, how do I separate myself from the traditional goat farmer?
And you can only separate yourself when you have mastered the basics and are ready to take on a new challenge.
Everybody's just selling goat meat and everybody's enjoying goat meat as curry goat. But then there are many other ways to enjoy goat meat. There's goat sausage, there's goat burger, which is jam goat. You can also have goat pasta, and we have other ideas in line, maybe even goat nuggets. So I decided to put on my thinking hat with my family members and came up with an innovative way of where we can enjoy meat. Plus, goat is actually healthier red meat.
As he said, traditionally, Jamaicans have incorporated goat meat into dishes like curried goat and manish water. But the shocking truth, according to the Ministry of Agriculture, is that over 80% of what we consume as goat meat is actually imported sheep. This revelation shows the importance of supporting local goat farming and that we need to explore diverse ways to prepare and enjoy genuine goat meat. This is where the magic happens. We are now in the agro-processing section of this farm where goat meat is transformed into delectable goat burgers. Although we couldn't capture every step of the process, I can assure you that the journey from raw goat meat to gourmet jam goat burgers exemplifies the statement, your gift will make room for you. I certainly put in the work today as I uncovered the ebbs and flows of goat rearing. But one question remains, is it a lucrative business?
Think about taking $10, putting it aside, coming back, and that $10 is now $40. And you take that $40 with your $10, put it aside, and come back and it's now $120. Goats is, to me, is a true definition of compound interest. One female goat can give you up to 4 kids. And those 4 kids, if female, can multiply and give you another 4 kids. So, and plus, when you look at our economy, Jamaica is importing $15 million worth of goat meat each year. So the market is wide open for everybody to come and diversify and take a piece of the pie. So why not come and join?
Before we leave, we decided to request one takeaway for the journey.
Mr. Henry,
can you provide me with advice on how to make this business a success?
Definitely, Katie. With proper planning, proper numbers, calculating your birth season, your kidding season, and what you're trying to market, you have to do all of that so that you can make the success come to reality. And that's how we end up with the idea of
a jam goat burger, of course.
Now that we have developed a goat burger, you can see the tremendous possibilities.
We are hoping that the time will come to be able to track these cards.
Hello, the house are burned down.
And punish those who are doing this.
All too frequently, a unit is unavailable for an actual fire emergency, merely because it is responding to a false alarm.
And it results in most instances to a waste of resources that could be used for more productive purposes. So I want to encourage members of the public to desist from this practice. We tend to see a spike in false alarm calls during the summer when the kids are home. Because they are home, they have their cell phone and they see it as fun to dial whether 110 or 119 to say that there's a fire somewhere. So I want to encourage parents to pay attention to that as well.
Developing a growth mindset occasionally necessitates learning certain survival skills. Our upcoming feature will highlight how a helping hand may go a long way.
At RSS Natural Delights, we do coconut drops with a difference. So what we do, we take the old-time Jamaican traditional treat and turn it into a new look and taste. A healthier brand where we infuse fruits and nuts to our products. So as you can see here, We have sorrel jam with cayenne pepper, and we also have the original sorrel jam, coconut drops with cranberry, almonds, sunflower seeds, sesame seed, blueberry, coffee, and we do gizzardo with raisin, cranberry, almond, and blueberry also. Why I choose to go in this direction, it was a personal reason, and where life hit me away, where I did have to take care of my 2 girls. And I didn't know how to do coconut drops. But the first time when I started to do coconut drops, it turned out watery because I didn't grow up with my grandmother. I didn't know anybody that made coconut drops. So when life hit me, I go to my bed and I got a dream. And as a spiritual person, I was talking to Father God, and that was it. I get to make coconut drops. A church sister, her name is Miss Brown. I saw her downtown one day, and I said to her that, Miss Brown, can you help me to make coconut drops? And she said, yes, she can help me. She said it's just a one-time thing that, sure, I can help you to make it. So the first day she come and make it for me, and I see where it's going, I sell it off the first day. So I was thinking big, I always think big, I always positive thinking. They said speak life over your life, and that was it. And I was looking to go far, not from a home basic, but to go both locally and international. And then when I sell off the first, I said, you know that this will hit the market. No, I said, Miss Brown, I sell off the thing, you know. You can help me to make it again. And she said, all right, cut up the coconut. I didn't know how to cut coconut at that time. The first time I cut coconut, it stick me in my hand. So I tried to cut it up, and when I cut it up and everything, she said, all right, put on everything and so come back. But I never know that Miss Brown was tricking me. So as a quick learner and a visual person, I catch what she was doing, and then when she come back, I make it off. When she come back and say, Miss Brown, I make it. And she said, you see it? A survival may I teach you for, and this is how RSS Natural Delight started.
Have you learned the importance of applying creativity to push your business forward? Students, that may just come in handy if you pair it with the tips we're about to provide in our next feature. We have some advice to help you position yourself for the summer job of your dreams.
Are you ready to make the most of your summer? I'm sure fun is on the agenda, but have you also considered using some of the time to earn a bit of extra cash and gain valuable experience for later in life? Here are 10 tips to help you land that perfect summer job. Don't wait until the last minute to start your job search. Begin early to beat the competition and increase your chances of finding the ideal summer job. Explore online platforms and company websites to discover a wide range of summer job opportunities. Reach out to friends, family members, and acquaintances to inquire about job openings or potential leads. Networking can open doors to hidden opportunities. Visit local businesses in person and inquire about job openings. Making a personal connection can leave a lasting impression. Craft a polished resume that highlights your skills, experiences, and achievements that are relevant to the job you are applying for. A well-written resume can set you apart from the competition. Tailor your job applications to each position you apply for, emphasizing how your skills and experiences align with the job requirements. Keep an eye out for job fairs in your area, where multiple employers gather to recruit summer workers. Job fairs offer a valuable opportunity to connect with potential employers face-to-face. Make use of all that time you've spent navigating social media. Optimize the skills you've developed and look for those businesses that aren't fully active on social media. and approach them with a plan to reactivate their accounts. Follow up on your job applications with polite emails or phone calls to express your continued interest and inquire about the status of your application. Persistence pays off. And finally, stay motivated and positive throughout your job search journey. Remember that finding the perfect summer job may take time, but with persistence and a positive attitude, you can achieve success. With these tips in mind, you're well equipped to embark on your summer job search adventure. Good luck, and here's to a rewarding and unforgettable summer.
As Jamaica prepares to transition from a monarchy to a republic, the nation stands at a crossroads, ready to redefine its identity and future. This pivotal change, anticipated for the future, is more than a constitutional shift. It is a moment of profound national introspection and dialogue.
This whole business of constitutional reform, the structure of government, and the difference between a constitutional monarchical arrangement and a republic. I mean, literally, it goes to the core as to who we are as a people. For people who experienced living in colonial Jamaica, or who have had close experiences coming from family members and people who study history directly, people who have that kind of deep understanding. For them, it is very challenging to swear, pledge allegiance. There are many Jamaicans who have only read about Jamaica under the colonial experience and may just have a kind of surface understanding of the issue and might feel this is not something that is going to affect the price of rice. It's not going to change the collection of garbage tomorrow. Those views are accounted for as well, which is why we delayed the process for a year just so that we could increase the level of engagement. The real question is, are we shaping Jamaica in our image? And what should that image be?
We've reached the end of our program. Get a recap of everything you saw here and more on our website, jis.gov.jm. I'm Audrey Williams. Bye for now.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.